So if you could summarize the video and your feeling or your opinion or any insight into the video, how would you, what would you say? What would you comment on that?
Well, the part with the seal, if you believe what the internet's saying about the news reports, is that it was something that was pulled off on Trump. He wasn't aware of what happened, and this Great Awakening video kind of he's trying to suggest that Trump knew exactly what he was doing when he did it. Well, the news is saying that he didn't do it; someone else was responsible. So that aside, he's describing things that I could clearly see it based on the examples that he provided, and he provided the proof behind it. So these individuals that are doing, creating these expose videos, they themselves have issues. So I think that it's very interesting because it is also, again, another reminder to be very careful what you share and be very careful who you throw your lot behind. The cult of personality and these individuals that are very charismatic. Trump is very charismatic. He speaks to the conservative heart, but you can't put your faith in him, and I don't think our fellowship ever has. I think we appreciate the things that he's done that parallel our Christian values, our conservative values, but the man himself has got some dark secrets, according to this video, and I don't doubt that.
Who doesn't? I think we all do.
Yeah, but I think that the video is a very interesting thing, and it kind of helps make sense of why it's a little hard to swallow some of the videos. The pandemic one in particular, I had a hard time watching because it just I could hear it and I could appreciate what they were saying because it kind of aligned itself with these things that we're thinking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, something kept just pinging off of that. I don't know what you want to call it, discernment or something, that something is weird or something is off.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched that first one. And, it just struck me as being something that was a little off by it. And I don't know why. I'm leery of all this stuff anyways, as you know.
Yeah.
But this video in particular, I thought it was very interesting. I think everything that is man-made, everything that comes out of man's heart, you have to take with a grain of salt. You have to look at it with a biblical discernment. He quoted a lot of scripture, but we have to know the context of the scripture.
Yeah.
We have to also know what translation is he using. Was that faithful to the translation? Does it?
But, overall, circle back. Overall, what's your opinion of it?
It was interesting. It was very interesting. It's not something I would just dismiss.
No, it's a reminder, I think.
Absolutely.
And I think we need those constantly because I find myself, it's like you get dozy.
Yeah.
You read, you get in the world,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, you get caught up in other things and news reports, and you start to doze off again, and then you got to be woken up by your friends or, your fellowship to wake up.
Yeah.
Get back into the Word, wake up, pay attention,
Yeah.
It's like those 10 virgins again. It's like we want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Want to go to sleep, want to take a nap.
The point is to be ready. But
and there's so much confusion. There's so many news reports. It's like, I don't even know. It's like even the news reports that are legit, are they really legit? It's just there's so much.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that the wearing? To me, that's like a type of the wearing down of the saints. It's like, man, I'm just so sick and tired of.
But I've been saying all along, there's too much misinformation mixed in with information. The only thing you can do is say time will tell.
99% truth, 1% the lie.
Yeah,
in there.
that was a great illustration. Yeah. But to get back to your question of the final summary, I'll just say this. If I'm going to take an opinion of bad, neutral, or good, was the video bad, neutral, or good?
Yeah.
I would say it's on the higher side of it's neutral and good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it was a bad video. It
Yeah.
was very interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know anything about the guy who did it.
Right.
I don't
But
know
then it's the background check.
his motivation. You can't vet him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of stuff, you just have to really keep going back. What he did, and I appreciated this point, was he kept going back to scripture with a lot of the things he was saying. None of these other videos, their exposés, are using scripture, so to speak.
Or sometimes they are using one out of context just
And
to fulfill their
was he
need.
using scripture out of context? I didn't really see anything out of context, but I saw some translations that were probably a little bit different than maybe what, you know, we're normally reading.
Right.
So, yeah, it was very interesting. Definitely don't put your faith, hope, or, you know, our future prosperity in with any man at all, ever. It's not going to happen.
It's easy, people easily get caught up in that. I see that a lot. I see
Yeah.
that in my family. I see that with, it's like, that's why I have to unplug from all this stuff, because
Well, you know, God allowed something really interesting to happen with Joseph in Egypt. You know, he allowed Joseph to go into a completely pagan nation and become a ruler and to marry pagan women, which was very different than a lot of the other examples. But Joseph still is an example of Christ. There are elements to that. And
the suffering servant.
when Joseph came to power, one of the things that Joseph started doing was he was almost ransoming the Egyptians. Progressively, they came to him, and first they were having to buy things. Then when they didn't have any money, they were selling off their livestock and their crops, and then their land, and then themselves eventually. And it was all for that governmental aid. And God allowed that. And I think there's a lesson there by saying what are people willing to sell in order to feel secure. And a lot of what Trump is doing is he's saying, you can trust me, I have your best interests in mind. But they're requiring certain things. They're asking for loyalty, they're asking for fealty, you know, to be able to say, you know, make America great again. Well, if I have to choose between a Democrat or Trump coming back, you know, obviously we're probably going to want Trump back rather than a Democrat. The veiled evil, as opposed to the obvious evil, it's a hard, you know, it's a hard place to be in. But it is the two-headed eagle, isn't it? It's two heads serving the one body. So I think, you know, I have to really digest it and think about a lot of the stuff was said.
Yeah, we have to be careful because I think we're going to easily be hoodwinked, and so we have to look at this.
You have to look
at. We're in the world. We're in Egypt, and so this is not our kingdom. So
no, absolutely.
Anyways,
not.
I've got like 8 minutes on the second one. So
okay.
Yeah.
Signing out. God bless.